There is something we barely talk about, even though it is something that affects all of us. It is something we have to carry around with us every day. That thing is grief. We try so hard to avoid it and to shut it out and pretend it's never going to happen. We need to get better at grief.
My natural dad. I was only 17 when he died. Which was I was 17 in December and my dad passed away in the January. So I'd only literally turned 17. And to be quite honest, to this day, even though it's been 40 odd years, I still don't think I'd really grieved over him. I jumped straight from losing my dad the end of January to getting married at the beginning of March. So when I think I really never grieved over it. I know I cried, but I don't think I grieved over it because, you know, I turned that grief into, well, I suppose, ignoring it by getting married so young. And I do often wonder whether I have actually really ever grieved properly over him. So I don't know.
Grief is the response to universal change. All of us do it, but we do it differently. It's unique.
My parents' marriage was not a brilliant one. There was always lots of arguments, and they split up a couple of times. It was hard too, because when my mum and dad split up, that's when I found out my dad was dying. And that was hard as well, but we didn't think it was as bad as what it was till it was too late.
Yeah. What's your favourite memory with him?
No, I can't remember too much with him, to be quite honest. And that's sad. That really is sad that I can't remember much about our close relationship, because I don't think we ever had really what I class as a close relationship. Maybe we did. I'm not saying we didn't, but I really, really can't remember it. Well, whether, because, like I said, it's been 40 odd years since he's passed now.
Yeah.
And a lot of things have gone on since then, and that I've just blotted it out. And you know, he was only in my life 17 years, and most of them as I was a young child, so I wouldn't have remembered that. So whether that's the reason why, so it's really hard to really recall a lot. Well, like I said at the beginning, you know, getting married, having a baby, it just took my mind off. Well, obviously it takes 9 months to, you know, but I think having a boyfriend at the time that I was in love with, that I actually married and went on to have a family, I think having him round to help and whatever, so really, really helped me. Well, Mr. Turner is what I call him, along other names, was my second dad. And who happened to be in my life for 40 years, which was more than double of my actual natural dad. We only lost him last year due to cancer again, so I lost both my dads to cancer. Yeah, you know, he was all right, but he wasn't my dad. He was just George. So, and I had my own life, and I just basically accepted him as George, not my dad. He wasn't dad. He wasn't dad for a long time. You know, he was just George, who my mum was with. Even when they married, he was still George. He wasn't dad. So it took quite a few years before he became dad. Obviously, as time went on, you know, he started becoming dad. He was there. He used to do things for us and help us out, and he did the dad bits. So and I grew to love him. And in the last over 10 years, I really got, when I moved down to Somerset to live near them, that's when I really got to know him well, and we became very close in those 10 years. So yeah, it's hard. I don't think I'm through the loss at all yet. No, it's too early. And I don't think, and I think also I've not really grieved a lot because I've been there for my mum.
Yeah.
It's me, because where I live down here, and I'm near to her. It's sort of really been down to me to be there a lot for her, which is fine. But at the same time, I've not had my chance to grieve a lot. I've cried, obviously, I've cried and everything. So when and his ashes actually sit in my mum's house, and I have to go in there and say hello to him. He's in a big box, round box, and I go in and say hello to him and give him a kiss. Say, all right, Dad, how you doing? But I think it's still, like I said, it's only just been a year. My memories are all sort of jumbled up. I miss him. But he was a pain in the backside as well.
I think we all know that.
Yeah, he was a pain in the backside. Used to get on my nerves a lot. But I loved him. I really did love him. He was my dad. He was my dad. You know, I couldn't have had any better of a stepdad. He's always there. He'd drop anything to help us out. Kind-hearted man he was. Really kind-hearted man. You know, if I needed anything, he'd go out of his way.
Yeah.
Well, not just me, all of us. He'd be there for all of us.